Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm taking you to the beautiful, colorful city of Cartagena. We're going to Colombia. I want to be sure that you are clear of the pronunciation. This is not Colombia, USA, Colombia. This is South America. If you go to Travel State Gov, you're going to see that Colombia is at a level 3. This has been updated since January of 2024. Level 3 on Travel State Gov is going to say reconsider travel. I've told you before that I've gone to different countries around the world that were level 3, some level 4 without any troubles. If this is your first time, you do want to take some precaution if you are going to be going to any of the cities in the country. I'll give you some tips later on. First, let's talk about how to get to Cartagena. You want to make sure that your passport is valid. When you are looking at the entry requirements, there is a checkmark form that you are going to need to complete if you are entering Colombia, and it needs to be done before entering the country. I flew to Cartagena from Medellin. I had already started out my trip from Bogota actually, and then from there I went to Medellin. Then from there, the last stop I went to was Cartagena, and I flew to Cartagena from Medellin with Avianca Airlines. It's a very, very nice airline. I highly recommend it. And I was able to get a flight for a reasonable price. This was a late flight. Usually for solo travel, I'm going to recommend that you don't arrive late in the midnight hour just for your safety. However, in this case, I believe I was okay. Rafael Nunez is the international airport there. The airport's fine. I flew out of there after my stay in Cartagena as well. When I was there, there was only, for the Wi-Fi of the airport, obviously you want to be able to connect if you did not purchase an international plan, you don't have a SIM card yet. I connected to their Wi-Fi, but then I saw their free Wi-Fi was only 30 minutes. I don't know if this has changed since I visited. So make sure that you know exactly what you want to search up when you're on that Wi-Fi, unless you want to just pay for additional minutes. This was an issue for me because I had not secured my accommodation. Look, I was trying to be spontaneous on this trip. Cartagena was the last stop, and I really, really enjoyed Medellin so much that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just pop into Cartagena, see a little bit of Palenque, and then I'm out. The itinerary was kind of loose with what I did for Cartagena. It was the last stop in Colombia. What I like to tell first-time travelers is make sure that you have your transportation arranged. This can be difficult if you are arriving very late at night after the shuttle buses and all of that stop. Either you take a taxi, it could be expensive, or you could just wait it out at the airport. You could maybe even text your host through WhatsApp. Maybe they could arrange a payment where, like $10 or something in Colombian pesos where they could come pick you up. Make sure that you have your transportation to your accommodation already secured before landing. I did not, because I was still looking up places on booking.com. Which leads me to accommodation. There are different neighborhoods in Cartagena. You can stay, of course, in the walled city. That's the UNESCO heritage site, and that would be a great place to stay because you're already on the tourist attraction. You can just walk out of your hostel and start seeing all of the sites there. You also have Gethsemane. I really, really like that neighborhood. It's lively. They have lots of art murals there. It's a lot of great nightlife. I really, really enjoyed that area. You also have Boca Grande. There's also many other neighborhoods as well. I'm not sure which one I was in. I think I was close to the walled city, but y'all, I'm all for supporting the locals. I'm not gonna lie. But this accommodation was a little, I'm not even gonna say the name of it. Thankfully, they were able to accommodate me. It was very last minute. I'm gonna show you the room here. This is very simple, basic lodging. All I needed was AC. It was very noisy. I had a bed and I had my own private bathroom. There was a dog in the lobby. You will see moving around city to city that hostels are very cheap. I think the lowest I had maybe was $8 a night. Wild. So this one was locally owned and it was one room. What I ended up doing, I think I got there on a Saturday night and I knew that I needed to, just rest my body. I'd have been traveling through the airport from Medellin. My spirits were kind of down because I was like, man, I love Medellin so much. It's like the city of eternal spring. I was like, I need to see the Afro-Colombians and I am going to Palenque. And that tour was leaving out the next morning. Sunday morning, so I just needed somewhere to rest. I was able to accomplish that. The environment could have been nicer, but I adjusted fairly quickly, I would say. And it was the end of my trip, so I didn't really care. You might want to find a place that has more comfortable seating, better bedding, etc. So I'm going to recommend that you look up Airbnb. They have great Airbnbs there. I actually stayed in one the last night. I booked it through Airbnb, but it was actually a hostel. It was called One Day Hostel. I had an issue with the host, just his list of rules. It was just a lot of emojis. It was very long, like a page of instructions of all these things to do. I'm like, just chill. We're in Cartagena. Let me just come in, do my thing. I'm in, I'm out. This is just one night. It was very difficult for me to get in. I actually wrote a review on TripAdvisor. I used to be writing reviews all the time before YouTube. The room was very nice. It was clean. They call it a hostel, but I had my own private room, and I had, of course, my own bathroom. I could not figure out how to use the hot water, so I took a cold shower. Yes, it is very hot in Cartagena, but still, I like to have warm water on my skin when I'm bathing. So the host was kind of annoying, but it is what it is. I was able to stay there, and I checked out very easily. I arranged a taxi to take me back to the airport because I needed to fly to Bogota to get to Miami. I don't know why I didn't just fly from Cartagena now that I think about it. The only thing was that not only was the host annoying because of his long list of rules, he also was not on site. Sometimes you want to be able to communicate directly with the host. If they are on site, at least to make sure that you are comfortable, you were able to check in. But that's not the case with all of these Airbnbs. Like, there were different private rooms. I think one room had a lot of beds in them, so that one was considered the hostel room. I don't even know if this is on Hostel World. I'm gonna have to check that. You want to make sure that the line of communication is open, which is why you need to be able to connect to the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi was good there, y'all. I'm not trying to, you can go to this place. Maybe it's changed. You can definitely look up the hostels. All you have to do is go to Hostel World. You can even go to Google, type in Cartagena, and then you want to look at the neighborhood. You can filter it out by price. It is very easy for you, and you're going to see how cheap it is. I love Colombia. When I think of Cartagena, I think of colorful streets, lovely street art. There's always something going on in the alleys. It's a very lively place. However, there can be some issues with the panhandlers hounding tourists, and it really took away from my experience my first time visiting in Cartagena. Some things to do would definitely be to go to the walled city. All right, this is a UNESCO heritage site. I always encourage you guys to check those out. There is so much history to learn and see there. You can arrange for a tour. You can see all of the special sites. There are going to be, as I said, a lot of peddlers. You're going to see the rappers, people asking you to ride the horse, and they are ripping tourists off. Like, the prices are absolutely insane. And sometimes if you tell them no, they will follow you and continue to pester you so that they can get paid. Even with the rappers, I like to, hear them with the music. I had my phone out to record, but I was like, you know what? Let me just put this back because I'm not really in the mood to be bothered. I've seen other travelers who had a pleasant experience with them, and, they just paid them. So it's up to you and your pockets. To avoid these gringo prices, I'm going to suggest that you just say no gracias, no gracias, smile and keep it moving. Others say if you are smiling and looking friendly that they're going to continue to harass. That was not the case with me. And of course, speak some Spanish. You can smile a little bit, look serious, tell them no gracias, no gracias, no gracias. Just keep that in your mind and keep it pushing. If you linger a little too long making that eye contact, they are going to latch on. It's a reason why I didn't even go to the beaches there, because I heard the panhandling on the beach is way worse. And there is nothing more that I despise than being at a beach to chill and relax and having people come up every 5 minutes or so offering some trinkets that I do not want for some wild price. No gracias. The walled city, it has the beautiful cobblestone streets. It is very, 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 very nice. When I was there, it was rainy. There's places to sit and people watch. There's restaurants. It is a top tourist attraction. As I mentioned before, Gethsemane is a lovely neighborhood full of activities for you to do. There's street food, there's street art. Y'all know I love street art. The murals of the Afro-Colombians. It is beautiful. I would advise that you even try to stay here if you could find accommodation that suits you. This is where you're going to see the Palenqueras. If you want to take pictures of them, make sure you slip them a little something. I always got to support my people. Even though I really wasn't in the mood, I was like, this is my last couple of nights. I already visited Palenque, but I'm not going to tell the sisters no. Like, if she comes up to me, she looked young and she was like, do you want to take a picture? A photo? I'm like, sure, girl, come on. The art is fantastic. Here's one of B, the queen, and you can support the artist if you have space. This is one issue that I do when I am just traveling light with just a backpack. I can't really take things home unless, I was to ship it, but who knows how much that would cost. Check out the artwork. It is very lovely. You could even do a street mural tour if you so choose. Another activity that I did was the hop on, hop off bus. This is a great way if you didn't have a lot of time. I got there Saturday night and I left Monday. I was not there long. The hop on, hop off bus really made it easy for me to see all of the beautiful hotels up and down the coastline. I was able to check out the city while just sitting on the bus. It had AC. I was able to rest my feet. The tour guide did a great job. He gave us a lot of information, and I really enjoyed it. They offer this tour on Get Your Guide, but you can also walk up and pay for it too. You're just going to have to wait in line depending on how busy the day is. As I said, for the beaches, I did not really go. They looked nice. Some people are saying the water was dirty. I'm not really sure. I did not go to any of the beaches in Cartagena, but they have nice resorts, at least from what I saw on my hop on, hop off bus. Those hotels did look nice. Another activity, top activity that you have to do is visit Palenque. It is a must-see for travelers who are first time visiting Cartagena. If you want to get more information about Palenque, go ahead and click here. I took a day trip from Cartagena and it was a highlight of my trip for sure. Colombia has gorgeous, beautiful parks for you to just take a stroll in. Look at all of the vibrant green grass. As you go and walk throughout the walled city, Gethsemane, wherever you choose, keep in mind that it is extremely hot in Cartagena. I think it was the hottest city that I visited throughout all of Colombia. The temperature is hot and humid all year. You want to prepare for the heat, either hydrate in your room before going out, keep a water bottle with you throughout the day so that you do not get dehydrated. Think about this when you are packing. You want to dress light. You see me here, I had on like shorts, a tank top. The tank top said Cambodia. Like, why am I wearing Cambodia in Colombia? When you see all of the colorful street art, you can look up and see the umbrellas hanging down. All of the murals, you see beautiful Black people. These are perfect times for pictures. When traveling solo, I don't carry a tripod. I just have my phone and I ask people to take pictures of me. I will show them how I want it specifically to be. The police asked me to get out of the street because I was on the motorcycle and I wanted some motorcycle pics. I don't know. For some reason in my head, I was like, oh, take a bunch of these motorcycle pics. And I just had the motorcycle driver take the pictures of me, but I was holding up traffic. Do not do that. There are apps that you can use where they will just take a lot of photos of you. Those work very well. You could connect it to your Apple Watch, use that, or you could just use a tripod. The food in Cartagena was okay. As a vegan vegetarian, I was able to eat at some spots. First, let's talk about the tropical fruit that is there. I enjoyed the mango so much. There was delicious limeade drink that I saw them make. It was fresh and delightful. You can always go to the market and get those fruits to eat as well. It's a great way for you to stay refreshed and hydrated while eating the fruit. One restaurant that I'm going to recommend is El Bololo. They have Caribbean Caribe bowls. I believe I had the eggplant there. It was very tasty and well seasoned. It reminded me of eating in Jamaica for some reason. While I was there, I noticed all of the Afro-Colombian decor. It was very well done. The power went out, so I had to enjoy my meal in the dark, but it's all good. The power came on later. Another place I ate at was Pescatarian. Here they had the daily special. This is a seafood restaurant, but you are going to be able to get things made vegetarian. I asked them, can we make some modifications? I really want to get this daily special, but I do not eat fish. And I topped it off at the end with some ice cream. Transportation, there are a variety of ways to get around. Obviously, walking, I walked on foot most of the time in the walled city, back and forth going to my accommodation. When I was in Gethsemane, I did use the motorcycles from time to time. You see me on one here. I did not have on a helmet. It was very rainy. The motorcycle drivers, they are friendly. I had one take my photos. Also, there are taxis that you can use. Make sure, I'm not saying that all taxi drivers are going to scam you. That's not the vibe that I want you to get with this video. Yes, they are going to upcharge us because we are gringos, we are the foreigners. However, if you agree on a set price before getting in the car with them, speak Spanish directly, it's going to signal to them, hey, you know, I can't really pull one off on her. She kind of is a little too savvy. Learn some local Spanish phrases, and you can quickly pick them up. Observe the people around you, blend in. Now, for me, I'm a Black woman, so I use that to my advantage. The men there, for the most part, are very friendly to Black women. I had a lot of them take my photos. Like, I'll have them move. They were just chilling, sitting in front of the murals. The murals are so beautiful, y'all. I had to have those pictures done. I've lost so much of my Spanish, but I said enough to where I was like, oh, you know, can you take my picture? Can I move this chair out of the way? Y'all can sit there later. And they're just looking at me like, who is this woman with this Cambodia shirt on? But they don't care. They just like brown skin. As I said, I took the bus tour. You can use the rideshare apps. There are a variety of them for you to get around in Cartagena. That's not going to be a problem. For your safety, if you don't feel comfortable speaking Spanish or talking to the drivers and the taxis, what I would advise you to do is just use the rideshare apps. Cartagena, I think they use, or Colombia, I think they had Uber and InDriver. If there's any other popular rideshare apps, just let me know in the comments. For the passport bros, I just want to give you a word of caution. Be careful with the women that you choose. All right. I think that you know that some of them are going to see you as a target, especially if you are not blending in. You're displaying watches, expensive jewelry, nice shoes. Not all of them are looking for love. They are working women. So keep that in mind. Be smart about it. And choose your ladies wisely. You want to return home safe and sound. Not only passport bros, but anyone. If you're walking around with a lot of excessive jewelry, gold chains, watches, anything that is displaying your wealth, you're going to be a target. I'm not saying that they are going to steal from you, but there are thieves in Cartagena. This is a very popular tourist destination. I've heard of travelers saying, you know what, I'm not going to return back there. They bothered me. They harassed me so much. I didn't enjoy my trip because of the hagglers. Well, did you do your research? How are you dressed? Were you flossing? Like, blend in like the locals. Like, you see what I have on. I don't really pose as a threat to the thieves. Like, I literally gave them my phone, not the thieves. I literally gave people my phone to take my pictures. Don't make it obvious that you're a tourist. I think some of them noticed that I was, just the way that I was in awe of the murals. I love them so much. I forced myself to speak Spanish. Like, don't speak any English, only communicate in their language. That's how, just listening to them, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm saying Medellin wrong. It's Medellin, because I'm listening to how, you know, they are speaking to each other. And then, because I'm solo, I can quickly make some connections with people. Here, I didn't hang out or make any friends at my accommodation. I was by myself the whole time, but I enjoyed it. I keep referring to Medellin because I like that the most, but Cartagena was nice too. I'm not going to say that my experience was unpleasant. I probably would go back there because I missed out on a lot of things, you guys. I only went to the walled city and I was on a bus tour. There are nice islands that you can see from Cartagena as well. So just do your research, keep a low profile, be aware of your surroundings. The weather was not ideal when I visited, but I just made the best of it. Cartagena is beautiful, it's colorful. I was able to see the Afro-Colombians and interact with the Palenqueras. So all in all, I think it was a great trip. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below. I love interacting with you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you next time.